All right, I think we're on. Can everyone hear me? G'day, everyone. Who we got? We've got a few there already. Mr. Buckaroony, how you going, mate? Can everyone hear me? See me? All right. How we all going? You have to bear with me. This is my first live, so we'll see how we go. Besides the test one the other night. Yeah, got a few here already. That's pretty good. Yeah. G'day, everyone. Well, I thought I'd just jump on and do a live tonight. Don't have a video out, so talk about the high country trip. So see if anyone's got any questions. I've got a few things to talk about the trip and about big trips and stuff like that. Yeah, mate, I'm straight out of the shower. I'm actually wearing a shirt tonight too. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll just talk about some things I want to talk about, and then we can. I'll try and spot the questions on the side. That's going to be a hard bit, I suppose. Yeah, mate. Go the Panthers, eh? We'll see tomorrow night, I suppose, about that one. Yeah. Oh yeah, got Tyler on here. Archie, hey mate. Off-road touring life. Yeah, good stuff. All right. I was going to talk about our high country trip and organising the trip. So the problem Natasha and I have is organising our time off together. So what we generally do is try and pick bit of time off, and we work it out between each other, and we get that time off. In this case, it was 2 weeks in February. And then what we do, once we got the time off, then we work out a place to go. So it's sort of a bit back to front to how most people would do it. But yeah, that's how we do it. And then yeah, once we got that time off, we decide where we're wanted to go. So we knew we could get 2 weeks off in February, and we wanted to head down the high country. So that's what we decided we're gonna do. And then from there, I sort of start doing a rough plan of the trip. I don't go too extravagant with a full itinerary. I just tend to just keep a few places in my mind I want to go to, and then from there I just work out the trip as we go. So yeah, um, on that particular trip, yeah, we were sort of just I only had a working out a couple of days ahead each time, but I sort of had a plan where I wanted to go eventually throughout the whole trip. But I we sort of didn't get to go everywhere. Like you sort of always want to go more places, but you never end up doing it all because you always try and do fit more in. But you got to remember as well, some of these trips, it's got to be a bit of a holiday as well. You don't want to take 2 weeks off work and come back more buggered than when you left. So yeah, that's sort of how we do it. Any questions on that? I'll just have a quick scan through here. Did I do any fishing? No, I didn't do any fishing actually, and it would have been good to take a fishing rod. I got to sort out um, a, just a simple tackle box just to have in the car, and a little fishing rod just to have in there and keep it in there all the time. Yeah, because it would have been great to do some fishing down there, because even there's a couple of spots we were swimming and I could see a few little trout swimming around. So no doubt there would have been some good ones in there. Yeah. All right. What's Josh got? What do you got, Josh? Do you plan to camp? If I pin this, does that? Do you plan to camp on the way there, or just on the way there or the way home, or just send it? So when we actually left to go on that trip, we went down to spend a couple of days in East Gippsland first. So we left on the Friday. I knocked off work at lunchtime, and we just done a free camp at Cooma. So we done like before we started filming, we done. So we left on Friday. We didn't start filming till Tuesday. So we had a few days just with some family down there in East Gippsland. But so on the way down, we left Friday already. We just camped in like a gravel pit, a free camp, just before Cooma. It's actually a really good camp, and even though it was pretty close to the highway noise was irrelevant. Sort of after dark, any sort of trucks and cars stopped down there. It was pretty good. Yeah. So and that was we just planned that on the way. We just started driving, and we just sort of picked the time. Like we didn't really want to drive past 5 o'clock. So I think we pulled up there a bit after 5. Maybe it was closer to 6, but it was still light. We definitely wanted to be pulled over before it was dark on those sort of roads. Yeah. What else we got going here? Whether you need a snorkel, Steph's saying whether you need a snorkel for the high country. Well, that's always debatable, isn't it? Like we didn't do any deep river crossings, but I'd recommend a snorkel for sure. But we didn't do any. Think that a snorkel was a must, but I mean a snorkel helps with dust and everything. So I would have. What are you doing, mate?
Hey, it's going on YouTube.
Special
Like and subscribe, eh?
Yeah. So I recommend a snorkel anyhow. So yeah, but yeah. I mean, we didn't do any deep river crossings, but we could have got caught out. There could have been a lot of rain when we were somewhere, and you just never know. So yeah. Matt Kennelly here. So you set a start destination in the VHC and a finish spot and work it as you go, depending on time and weather. That's pretty much exactly what we did. And we did want to spend that night on the McAllister River, but we just bailed because we knew that storm was coming through. And that storm that we copped there at Barkley River Camp, that was the big one that took out Melbourne and a lot of their phone towers and electricity and stuff. So we're pretty glad we got out of there. Please crack a craft beer and share it with us. No, I'm not on the beer tonight. I got something else. So yeah. Did I find my winch controller? No, it's gone to Vic High Country Heaven. But I got another one. Ordered another one. Got that. So got that pretty quick actually. So that was good. Yeah. Yeah, unpro need a snorkel on a 4x4. Yeah, I think so too, really. Like, yeah, yeah. Belinda, how long have you owned the Cruiser? So the Cruiser is a 2016 model, and we bought it brand new. Yeah. Brad's asking there if when I changed the wheels on the camper, did I change the hubs? No, I didn't. I was going to do that, but I ended up just not doing that yet. I've still got the 6 stud on the camper trailer. Yeah, it probably would be a good thing to do, but yeah, we've had the camper 12 years, and I thought the amount of times I've had to change interchange the rims or the need to. I haven't yet. So in a desperate situation, I could, if I needed the tire off the camper, I could pull the tire off and put it onto one of the cruiser rims. It'd be a pain in the neck, but I could get it done if I had to, I suppose. But yeah, ideally it would be better with the same hubs. But yeah, I just didn't do that because when we bought the camper, we had a Hilux, so that camper trailer is all set up for Hilux. It was actually made to have the wheel track of the Hilux and the same wheels and tires as we had on our Hilux. So yeah. Tyler Thompson, what's your favourite track in the Vic High Country? Should I take the camper on Mount Sunday track next time? You definitely should take the camper trailer on Mount Sunday track next time. Yeah, I'd like to see the comments in that one. Yeah, my favourite track. There's a lot to choose from. They're all pretty good, and I really like it down in that Caledonia River, McAllister River area, and the Caledonia River track, Dingo Hill track, that whole area. We drove around in down there, Butcher Country, Link track, and the McAllister River track. That's all good. That's some of the best camping down there, I reckon. Also, really like it up around Kelly Lane. Some good camping up there. And yeah, this video we went. First time I've stayed at Devil's Hollow, and that is a really good campsite. Tash was saying that was her favourite campsite. So yeah. What have we got in here now? Unpro, do you think the winch might not get you up that hill with the camper? Yeah, I did hook the winch up single line pull. So we all know that should have been a double line pull. But yeah, that was just to get me out of trouble real quick, and it got me there. But yeah, it was a pretty tough pull. It should have definitely been a double line pull. That little winch done really good. I'm really impressed with how well it went. But yeah, should have definitely done a double line pull there, and I should have used the tree on the higher side of the track. I used the tree on the lower side of the track, but I mean, when you're in those situations, you tend to sometimes make not the quite correct decision. So that's what it would. That's what it is, I suppose. That's the way it is. Yeah. What 4x4 would you buy next? That's Braden asking me that. Yeah. Well, that's a good one. This will probably shock everyone, but we wouldn't mind a 2.8 Troopy, 2.8 auto Troopy, and we'd set it up a bit different than the 76. We'd set it up more as like a long touring vehicle. We'd probably just have some all-terrains on it, 2-inch lift. Yeah, do the roof conversion. Just sort of keep it as a bit of a tourer. Have it auto. It's a bit nicer to drive. Cruise control. Keep it sound dead in it. Nice stereo. Yeah, I think that's what we'd go if we went next. I think maybe. Yeah, it's a couple of options. Yeah, I don't mind with the cruisers going to 2.8. I'm just going to buy a new car. Probably you'd nearly have to toss up whether you got a Hilux or not. I'm not sure. The extra cab Hilux with a nice train canopy. There's a lot of options if you're going to buy another car. Yeah. Thanks, Hacker. Hacker's saying the last videos have been your best. They really enjoyed them. So thanks, mate. Josh, happy with the cruiser and how it went towing in the high country overall. Yeah, the cruiser went well. Like we punished it up that hill and it it done it. And it's pretty hard towing through. Like, I mean, it's hard driving around in the high country. Anyhow, it's hard on your vehicle, but up and down some of those hills and through rivers. But the cruiser done it really good. We're really happy with how it goes. Yeah, probably just uses a bit too much fuel, but anyhow, so does every car these days. Yeah. Michael Beresford, did you feel mixed emotions going up and down Blue Rag? When I did it recently, it was scary, exciting, and you felt like you're in the middle of a painting. Yeah, that's very true. You're on that ridge line the whole way up. The views are awesome. Does feel pretty awesome. So yeah, it was a very emotional day for us anyhow, because that that morning we got a phone call because we were camped at Devil's Hollow, and you got phone service Devil's Hollow and also Blue Rag there. So my grandfather passed away that morning, so that was pretty emotional for us anyhow to do that Blue Rag trip that morning. So yeah, you're right, my ducks. It's a good track. It's yeah, Blue Rag and Billy Goats, or being at the top at the pinnacles there. They're the two spots you want to aim for in the high country, and there's plenty of other spots around there. Yeah, Unpro, was there much rubbish around the camps and tracks in the Victorian high country? There was a little bit. It wasn't too bad. There was, just your normal few bits here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, probably not as bad as New South Wales, but definitely like I think it's a bit worse up here around the Sydney tracks with rubbish. Yeah. Just while we're on the subject of rubbish, because I did have that on on my notes here to talk about some of the challenges on our trip. So we were 10 nights in the high country, and we stopped. I think it was 3 sort of major towns. We started at Walhalla, then we had Woods Point and Jamison fairly early on in the trip, and then after Jamison's a pretty good town, big town. We didn't hit another town till Lacola, and then after Lacola we hit Dargo. So once we hit Lacola and Dargo, we had a fair bit of rubbish on board, and we'd also you pick up the odd can, bottle, whatever from around the camps. But Lacola, through no fault of the town, there's nowhere to get rid of your rubbish. So if you're heading down that way, you've got to be prepared to take all your rubbish pretty much home with you. So yeah, Dargo has no bin service from the council. Doesn't give them a bin service there. Either does Lacola, but Dargo has a tip, and you can pay and go and dump your rubbish there. But the day we were at Dargo, there was the tip was the day the tip was closed. So yeah, but wasn't too bad. We were able to just drag all our rubbish home. Yeah, but we had that whole bin bag full, so we're probably going to. I think for trips like that, we'll just grab another bin bag and have it on the camper. Yeah. Hacker, you want an Amarok. F truck for the Shad. No, I don't know about an F truck. Not yet. Maybe when I'm a bit greyer. I'm probably not going to get grey. I'm going bald. Yeah. Toddy wants to know where I got my hair cut. Yeah, you want to replicate this style. I don't really cut my hair. I just wash it in hot water and it shrinks. So, yeah. Yeah. Any other questions here? John Whiting, how much does the camper weigh? So the camper, ours is the 2012 model, the ultimate camper, obviously, and its dry weight is 850 kilos, and like loaded up, it can be 1200. But I don't think I don't think we'd have it up around 1200. I think it'd be less. I've made a few changes. So the 850 was with dual AGM batteries. So we've since changed them to lithium. So I've saved a little bit of weight there. And it used to have a 9 kilo gas bottle and a 2 kilo spare. Now we just run 2 4 kilos. So a little bit of weight saving there, but yeah. So it's in the scheme of camper trailers, it's really light. Yeah. Hey Harry from Living Not Dreaming's on. Hey mate. Josh, what parts of the high country are you yet to explore? Surely a Tyler Thompson collab down there. Yeah, have you seen the tracks Tyler drives? I don't know. He'd take me up Flaps tracks or Mount Sunday or something. Yeah, there is so much. When I look on a map, there is so much areas I haven't been to, let alone tracks. Like there's tracks everywhere. I don't think anyone could ever drive them all. So there's, like, you pull out a map and just how big the area of the high country is. Yeah, it's massive. Yeah. Tom Rawlings, you and Tim Bates. Tim Bates might become good mates. Yeah, Tim Bates just bought himself a ultimate camper as well. Bought himself a second-hand one. So I think he's already been off on a trip to the Flinders, or he's on his way or something. Ash and Ryan, hey guys. If we're going to buy a new camper, would we buy another Alti or move to something different? We would probably move to something different. I would probably buy another Alti. Tash is ready for a hybrid or something a bit more caravan-y. Not so much a caravan-y. We'd something a bit more hybrid-y, something with a bed that's already made up all the time. Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying something different, like a little Patriot or something like that. Something little like that, different for a while, because I do like having a smaller camper, because obviously the sooner we go bigger or heavier, where it limits the places you're going to be able to go. But then you can do trips a bit different too, and base camp a bit. You leave your trailer somewhere and then go and drive the tracks you want to drive. Whereas in that high country trip, we just took the camper everywhere. The only time we didn't take it was up Blue Rag, because we we're going up and back. So yeah, I mean, something bigger, you just plan your trip a bit different, I suppose. You can still do the same things, you just plan your trip a bit different. Leon, when you are doing a collaboration, team rubbish cleanup to set the standard for other YouTubers. Yeah. Rubbish is a tough one. You sort of don't want to raise too much awareness, because I find the people who are doing the who just leave their campsites a disgrace, aren't really watching these videos, and by showing that all the time, I'm just really upsetting the good people, like when they see how they see a mess left behind or something, because yeah, so it's a touchy one. Yeah, I know what you mean, like you want to show that we've got to pick up, everyone's got to do their bit. So yeah, I don't know, that's a touchy one. I might have to think about that one a bit more. Yeah, Greg, how is Tasha's ankle going running the camera? Yeah, she's a bit slow. I need to get a bit more speed out of her somehow. Not sure how we're going to do that. A bit more physio, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, no, we took it in turns in that one. You've probably seen her driving a bit, actually. I've done a fair bit of camera running, especially in those some of those river crossings down the high country. Like, they got really, really big like boulders in them. They're not flattened out and smoothed out like a lot of river crossings around here are. So down there was a bit different. Down in that Caledonia River track, some of the river crossings, big lumpy rocks in them everywhere. So yeah, it was good. It's actually good to run the camera across, because you can check out the crossing and pick your line. Even though some of them are shallow, like you can have a big rock in the middle that's going to hang you up or hit your diff pumpkin or something. So you want to get out and walk the crossing. So you might as well take the camera with you. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely burnt some fuel pulling the camper up some of those steep hills. So I did have some fuel stats for the trip. So keep in mind, we went from Sydney down Cooma, around to East Gippsland, then started in Walhalla and home. I don't have litres we burnt. We just went through the Savo and worked out our fuel cost. So we spent 1,035 on fuel for the whole trip there and back. And that's, like you said, that's pulling the camper everywhere. And that's not driving. Like I drive 100 Ks an hour on the freeway and sometimes 110 like we do in the speed limit. And yeah, I'm not trying to save fuel. So that's just what it uses. And fuel, I can't remember what it was at Lacola, but at Dargo it was $2.50 a litre. So it's pretty expensive, but I mean that's what it is. We're on holidays, and yeah. The thing at Dargo too was this is a good heads up for anyone that's sort of heading on any sort of big trip. Because of that storm, they had no internet, so there was cash only. So we didn't really have that much cash on us, but we had enough to get a bit of fuel and spend a little bit there in town. But yeah, it's a good idea if you're heading out on a big trip just to have a little bit of cash backup, just in case you get to somewhere and the internet's down or the phone's down or something like that. Yeah, it's always good to have a little bit of cash. What have we got? They're rolling in here. The camper that Tyler borrowed from Drifter looked okay. That was one of the old dots, I think, from a couple of years ago, Steve, was it? Yeah. Belinda, Simpson Desert Trip. Yeah, so we've done a few trips with the kids when they were a bit littler across the Simpson. And done one the other year with the Drifter guys. That was pretty good. But yeah, my next Simpson trip. I would like to do the Madigan line or the Hay River track because I haven't done those. So I'd like to do one of those one day soon. Yeah, it's if you haven't been out to Simpson, it's bloody unreal out there. I love it. Can't wait to get back out there one day. Just the sunsets, the sunrises, the night sky. You can't beat it. Yeah. Mud ducks, ultimate campers are the best in my opinion. Yes, mate. It's a hard camper to beat. They're really good. They tick a lot of boxes, especially off road. Yeah, I haven't towed anything else other than our first camper, which was an all-terrain camper made in Sydney in Seven Hills. But yeah, the ultimate, it's a good camper. Really good. I was worried when we first got it about the whole fiberglass thing, but yeah, it hasn't been a problem. 12 years, and I mean, everyone's seen where we take it. We've taken it some pretty hard places. I think early on when we bought it, 2013, we took that camper trailer up the old coach road in down the bottom of the Gulf there, the bottom of Cape York. We took it on that old coach road. If you've seen that old coach road, you know how rough it is. So we took the camper up there. Tom, if you bought a new car, would you put a front and rear lockers? Yeah. These days, most cars come with a rear locker. I know most of the Hiluxes do. If you're buying a cruiser, they come with, well, like the 70 series style, they come with a front and rear locker. I probably would, but it's not something that I would rush into. I'd probably see how the traction control goes first. A lot of this new traction control, I think, is pretty good. I don't really know because I don't have much experience with newer type of vehicles. So I'd probably just wait and see, drive it around a bit first and see what I actually need. Most of the time, just a rear locker is good enough. Yeah, but then you got that thing, if it's going in to get a rear locker, do you just get the front as well? Yeah, it's a hard call, but yeah, rear lock is a good thing. Mud ducks. Rubbish is a problem, but I agree with you about the rubbish leavers. Don't watch YouTube. Yeah, they don't. Yeah. Big G's. How you going, mate? I bet you have the itch to go again to the high country. Yeah. With any of those big trips you do, whether it's high country, Fraser Island, Cape York, Simpson Desert, it just leaves you wanting more. Like you want to go back, you want to plan another trip. You always have a good time. Sometimes if things go wrong and you think you're having a bit of a crap time while you're out there, a couple of weeks at home and you know that that's a memory that you won't forget, and it turns into a good memory and you want to head back. Yeah. Unpro, who thinks Shad is worthy of more YouTube subscribers? Yeah. Don't know. I'll get there, mate. I'll get there. I've lost my spot. What do you think of the new 70 series? Yeah. Listen, I haven't driven one. The look is growing on me. I don't mind the look. That's growing on me. The new engine, time will tell. I mean, they couldn't have the V8 forever, I suppose. Yeah. I heard they're pretty good, but yeah, I'd probably buy one if I had to. I'm not about to get rid of the 76 anytime soon, but yeah, if something happened and I had to get a new one, I wouldn't see any problem getting the 2.8. I don't think. Yeah, and just having that auto would be pretty good, I reckon, as well. So yeah, but then yeah, don't know. You always can get the Hilux with the same engine, so who knows? Shad is hitting the big time now with doing live sessions. Yeah, it's a bit nervous before this one, mate. So we'll see how we go. Might lose some subscribers tonight. What's 2024 looking like for you guys? A couple of bigger trips or some amazing weekends? Well, I haven't really planned any other big trips. Hopefully we can cram in some amazing weekends this year, and we'll get yeah, want to mix it up a bit with a few bushwalks as well, and maybe get into some of those canyons and stuff as well. Yeah, find some new awesome locations to have a camp on the weekends, and we're trying to work out a system at the moment, Tash and I, where we can just go back to the double swag with a stretcher. Still got our double swag. We want to do a few swag trips, but we're looking at a way we can put it on a double stretcher or join two single stretchers together. So we can do that and do some swag trips, just break it up a bit different. A couple of spots we want to get into where we're not allowed to take the camper, so we'll do some of those with the swag, I reckon, and mix it up a bit. Thanks, Matt. Rather watch Shad than some of the others. Thanks, mate. Luke, how does the travel buddy go, Shad? I'm kind of keen to get one. Does it cook your stuff crisp or just warm stuff up? Yeah, we haven't really cooked anything that we need to crisp up, although we did cook those chicken tenders that we had in the high country. Those ones that Toddy put me onto, they sort of crisped up in there, but we had that, you just turn it up flat out, and yeah, I think you could get stuff pretty crisp in there, but it is good for like like, we'll put it this way, it can do a nice meat pie. Like, it won't make it soggy, it'll just get it nice and hot, and it'll be like crisp on the outside. So yeah, maybe someone else can jump in here. I know a few of these other guys have got travel buddies, but yeah, it's good for doing sort of drive and cook your dinner on the way to somewhere. And yeah, like some of those roasts and that we do, like just in there, it's pretty good. And the thing is, it's easy. It's not as nice as doing it in the camp oven. Definitely not. I prefer to cook it in the camp oven. But for the for how easy it is, if you're just driving somewhere, yeah, I would definitely recommend the travel buddy. But yeah, if you got time, just get it on the camp oven, I suppose. Yeah. What sort of liters per 100 are you doing towing? I didn't really check it this trip, but I know on our big trip we're doing like 16, 17 liters per 100, like up the Udnadana and right up to the top end. But that was when we're sitting on the Udnadana and stuff like that. We're only doing 80 k's an hour, just cruising along, and it can get like 16 liters per 100 with the camper on. Yeah, but as soon as you start getting on the freeway and pushing over 100, Yeah, she likes to have a bit of a guzzle. Greg, yes, Greg, got the new winch remote. It's it come pretty quick. That was good. Just all plugged in and worked straight away. Yeah, I'm thinking about wiring in a switch on the dash now, so that'll be my backup, and we'll probably just use that mainly. Actually, is just have those rocker switches on the dash. Yeah. Michael Doolan. Oh, Shad, does the camera work take it away from enjoying the trip and then editing? Um, Sometimes, like, um, it's it's good. Gives me something to do, like something to think about, something to do. I can't sit still for long, so yeah. I like to sort of, especially on this trip, I sort of had the edit planned out in my head, so I knew how I wanted to film it. It didn't quite work out right, um, either way, but sometimes it can take away from it, but most of the time not. The time it does take away is like when we leave here, like for a weekend, and it's a Friday lunch, and we're trying to get to camp for Friday night and set up and get dinner cooked. That whole Friday night's a bit rushed, or Friday arvo's a bit rushed. You want to get the shots driving on the tracks to camp and getting into camp, because that's what makes the video. Like, no one wants to, you don't want me to start the video Saturday morning and you're guessing where I am and how we got in there. So that's the hard bit. Like, just stopping, taking your time and getting the shots here and there. Whereas you're fighting the other half of yourself that wants to just go and get there. Like, let's just get there. Like, yeah. So yeah. And the editing, um, yeah, editing's a hard one. Like, because obviously I'm working full time, but what I'm doing now is just putting a lot less pressure on myself, and I just take my time. If it's not ready this Wednesday, it's ready the next Wednesday. I had most of those high country videos ready before I released the first one, so yeah, I knew there was no pressure on myself. Yeah, I think the first one came out, we'd already been back from the high country 4 weeks, so yeah, um, yeah, but yes, other than that, it's not too bad. I sort of enjoy it, and trying to make each video better and better. Nate, how many Ks on the 76? It's got 120,000 on it now. So yeah, it's my daily too. So I drive it to work and back every day, but I don't have far to go. So yeah, it's got 120 on it. Yeah, Matt Kenley, Hay River is awesome. 71 watching, only 20 likes. Yeah. Can't go wrong with most Aussie-built campers. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, yeah. Tim Bates has the same camper trailer. Yeah, we're just saying that before. He's just bought himself an ultimate camper as well, a second-hand one. So yeah, I think he'll be enjoying that. Tyler Thompson, surely a 76 versus GQ episode soon. Maybe 6 stage at Yowl. Yeah, that'll probably test my winch out. Yeah. We'll have to see who's 76 I can borrow for that one. Yeah. Recent vids have been great, Chad. Will there be October, November, then Madigan line in 25? Oh, it will be there in October, November. Yeah, down the high country. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and Madigan line next year. That's some good trips lined up, mate. Yeah. Toddy, what's your advice for YouTubers just starting out? Yeah, that's a good one. I feel like I'm just starting out. Take your time. Just take your time with everything. That includes editing, and don't rush the edits. Make sure take your time filming too, I suppose, and get some good shots. It's actually harder than you think. So I've struggled with it for a while, but yeah, I think and just try and just keep make the videos how you want them, like, and your your niche and your audience will eventually find you. You just got to keep persistent with it, I suppose. Yeah. He's rich. When are you buying the GQ? Yeah. I don't know. Everyone's buying a GQ. I might buy something different. Yeah. Who knows? GQs are good, but they're like the pinnacle of for off-roading, aren't they? Really, GQ or maybe an 80. Surely the 80s can keep up with the GQ. I think. Yeah. Braden, a manual, in my opinion, will always have the best engine braking over the auto. Yeah, the 105 was always on the brakes. Yeah, that's the only thing with the autos, with off-roading, isn't it? They just don't have that engine braking. They haven't sorted that out yet. I think they're getting better, but I mean, yeah, things can only get better, I suppose, but we'll see. Flynn's Adventures. My son and myself just did the area around Urangabili, Clark Gorge, walking. Really nice. Yeah, we done that. Tash and I done that a few years ago. It was really good down there on that in that area. We camped at it's one of my really old videos. Camped at Magpie Flat, just up from Blue Waterholes. That was good. Yeah, we all know you really want a Mahindra. Yeah, why not? I don't think they're as bad as they say. They're pretty good. I think the Mahindra. Yeah, that's right. Ruthie's got one. Thoughts on the parabolic springs? Yeah, I like them. I know I got the terrain tamer ones. I think when I bought mine, I only did that one standard set. I think they do a heavier set now, so I wouldn't mind changing to the heavier ones, but they're not cheap. So I'd have to sell these ones and then put the difference in again to get a set of the heavier ones. So yeah, I don't know. Might change it one day, but we'll see. Borrow Ryan's 80 and go with Tyler. Yeah, I could do that because Ryan leaves his keys lying around. Yeah, I can probably just do that. Ryan's unlocked though. He needs to get some lockers in that before I borrow it. Have you ever had any weird, strange camping experiences? Yeah, so just we had the just on this trip actually when we're at O'Toole's campsite, there was the sign up there for the wild dogs. So we didn't think much of it. Like there's dogs and dingoes and wild dogs and stuff everywhere. Pretty safe really here in Australia. But we'd gone to bed and there was a few noises outside and I thought, oh yeah, dogs coming and had a sniff around or whatever. But we could hear it still, so I just got up with the torch and went out. But there was nothing to be seen, even if it was a possum. Like you can normally spot the possum; it's in a tree just nearby. But yeah, I went out. There was nothing. Shone the torch around, no wires. I couldn't hear anything running off. It was really weird. We went back to bed, same noises again. So we don't know what it was till this day. Yeah, so who knows? Yeah, I think another time I was solo in the high country. I was up at I was camped at Lovick's hut by myself. There was no one else around. Hadn't seen anyone. I'd been down in that Caledonia River track and hadn't seen anyone for a couple of days. And I was up at Lovick's hut, and I was just on dusk, and I just had this weird feeling. You get that feeling someone's watching you, and yeah, I don't know. It just had that weird feeling. That's the only ever time I've felt a bit funny. But anyhow, nothing happened, so didn't even see anyone or anything. No other animals. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's about the only weird experiences, really. I think. Like, I mean, obviously, we've had possums and stuff like that. We had a hunter just show up at camp once. Like, he come down the track and I turned around and he's right there and he'd come around the corner and he was just a shock to see us. So yeah, but it's pretty daunting when you turn around, someone's just standing there with a rifle over their shoulder, but, like, he had the orange cap on, he was a proper hunter, so, you know, there was nothing to worry about. Yeah, had a good chat to him for a while, but, yeah, just that initial, um, when you don't hear a car coming and next thing someone's just there, you're like, "Oh." Yeah. Shad, thanks for the insight with the filming. I asked because how many like your vids and their content. Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah. Did I have any experience in editing? I just picked it all up a computer and learned as you go. So I had a tiny bit. So years ago, when the kids were little, I got some videos. We used to take like the old handy cam thing across the desert and wherever, and I used to just edit those very basically horrible and burn them onto DVDs, and we've still got them now. But yeah, otherwise I just picked it up as I went. Just started with iMovie. No, not iMovie. Windows Media Movie Maker or something. One of the free one on the Windows um, thing, and then I went to bought the MacBook, and then I started using iMovie, and I've only just upgraded from iMovie the last sort of 4 or 5, maybe 4 videos, now using Final Cut Pro. So yeah, and that's just pick it up as you go. Like, and if I can't do something, I just look up how to do it. You know, just everyone does a YouTube video on how to do stuff. So just sit there and do a video on how to look up how to do what I want to do, and then do that, and then you sort of know for next time, and just build up that way. Um, Beers in the Shed. Don't follow Tyler Thompson. He breaks things too many times. Yeah, I don't know that he's broken that much stuff, has he? What's he broken lately? Yeah, he's only breaking hearts. Tyler is. Greg, when are you and Hacker having a cook-off? Me and Hacker. I'm no chef. Definitely no chef. Tash and I cook basic meals so that everyone can maybe just get ideas for cooking. Yeah. You camp with mud ducks. That's a weird, strange experience. Yeah. Yeah, probably. Button Man at Lovex. Well, you know, I didn't at that time. I'd never heard of or knew about Button Man, but I read about him later and went, and I actually remembered that time. But I don't know. He doesn't hurt. From what I've heard, he's a nice bloke and doesn't hurt anyone anyhow. So yeah. When will the Broccolini King merch be available? Soon, mate. Soon. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I should try and upload some of the old DVDs. Oh, I just don't think the quality would be good enough. It's not there. Yeah, and they're not good videos. It's good for us to watch as a family, but yeah, I don't know that it's that enjoyable. Yeah, there's a few. Could probably just do like a real mini one, just have some clips because we had an 80 series back then, so that was pretty cool. Yeah. Here you go. On your last episode, towing the trailer, you got stuck and the vehicle started creeping backwards, even though you were in gear. Very lucky, man. It didn't get away from you. Yeah. Yeah. That was when Tash said the car was moving. That's why we sort of I just hooked the winch up as quick as I could. Like I said before, we should have been doing a double line pull there, but at that stage, we're just trying to stop the car from getting away any further. Yeah. Final Cut Pro is so good, mate. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've got so much to learn on Final Cut Pro. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. The fire pits around. Yeah, the fire pits around. That's an Oz barrier. We really like that too. Yeah. 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 What else was I going to talk about? Yeah, so I've talked before about the challenges on our trip, just the rubbish. So if you remember when you go down there, it's hard to get rid of your rubbish. So try and leave enough room for rubbish, and fuel's not an issue. You can buy it anywhere. Just take some extra cash. Yeah. Leon, your recent drone footage has been pretty epic. What are you using? Yeah, so just before the high country trip, I shouted myself a new drone. So I'm running the Mini Pro 4, the DJI Mini Pro 4. So it's a brand new one. And I'm using the RC2 controller, which is way better. The drone's heaps better. So yeah, you can probably notice it in the footage how much smoother and better is. The drone is just easier to fly as well compared to my old one. My old one was just the Mavic Air, the first one. Yeah, so this one is unreal. And having the RC2 controller means it's from the time we pull up and I've got the drone in the air, it's a lot quicker than before, because before I had to use my phone. So take the phone out of the cover, open the app, fire the drone up, plug the phone in. Yeah, and that old drone, you'd have to recalibrate the compass every time. Yeah, it just took so long to get in the air. But this one's so much quicker, easier to fly, has much longer time in the air. I think about 40 minutes. Like, yeah. So I sort of made a bit of extra work for myself there. I had so much drone footage because each of those little drone sort of sequences you see, I had about 20 to 30 minutes of drone footage to go through. So yeah, it's the only problem with a longer battery. You fly too long. But yeah, it was good. Yeah. Peter, do you have any goals for the channel and where you want to for the channel, or is it where you want it to be? So I wouldn't mind hitting 5K by the end of this year, 5K subscribers. But yeah, I to be honest, to be just really honest, I didn't even think I'd ever get this far. Like, this is amazing. Now, like, yeah, so many people watching the videos and the interaction, and yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, I'd like to hit 5K by the end of the year. That was the goal. But things have been going pretty good this year, so hopefully we can hit 5K, and hopefully we hit it before then. So we're, I think now 4.4, yeah, 4,400 subscribers. So yeah, it's getting there. Yeah. When's the local YouTubers meet and greet camp out? Plenty on here. Yeah. So what I was thinking, what I've been thinking about doing, there's a lot of people that want to come away with me at the moment. I'm thinking of doing we might do a bit of a subscribers meetup, a bit of a subscribers camp out. But it'll sort of, what was I going to say? Lost my train of thought. Yeah, it'll be, obviously it's going to be Sydney based. So, I understand there's a lot of people watching from all around. So it'll probably just be a Sydney based thing, like maybe camp out sort of Lithgow way. I'll find somewhere and we'll just do like a subscriber meetup weekend, just pretty cash, pretty low key. Keep it simple. Yeah. And I'll make it so it's an easy, like just somewhere easy for everyone to get to, like where you can bring like a normal car or caravan. We'll just go to a basic sort of campsite. I did actually have in mind Lake Wallace if I can't think of anywhere better. Lake Wallace has toilets and stuff, and it's a nice grassy area. Yeah, so we'd probably do something like that. And then if people want and they live close enough, they can even just come for the day if they want. They don't have to camp. Yeah. So yeah, Hackers in, he reckons. James is in. Luke Blewett, me too. Yeah, that's right, mate. It's nearly in your backyard. Yeah, that's the only thing. No fires at Lake Wallace. That's why I'm like, oh, yeah, Lake Wallace or Lake Lyell. Lake Lyell would be all right, but you got to book for there. And if I kept it just low key at Lake Wallace, I wouldn't have to worry about who's actually going to come and who isn't. It's just whoever shows up. It doesn't really matter so much. Yeah, and then I mean. and then from there, like we can, people can go for a forward drive if they want to, and yeah, I guess the idea too would be if we got a few people there, it's a good opportunity for people to meet other people who have the same interests, and they might live in the same areas, and they might be able to then go camping together later on. I thought it'd be good for everyone like that. Yeah. Make sure you bring the star of the channel, Tash. Yeah, I've told her she's got to come to that. Yeah. Yeah. So, do you think Lake Wallace is big enough for 4.42K of us? Yeah, I don't think that many people would show up. I don't know. Yeah. It'd be interesting. Like, I don't know if I don't know if 5 people had come or 10 or 20. I have no idea. But yeah, I know a few people are keen. Yeah. Toddy reckons if Reset Adventures is coming, he's busy that weekend. Yeah. Yeah. And Rich wants a lift off Josh. Yeah, Josh can pick you up, Rich. That's all right. Yeah. Yeah. Tom Grogan. Yeah, that's a bit of a drive. It's a good area, but it makes for a big weekend. Yeah, for me anyhow. But yeah, I don't know. I think we could do. I think I need to organise something anyhow. Just something like that. Yeah. So yeah, what do you reckon, guys? It's coming up to an hour. Anyone got any other questions about the high country or anything else they want to know about anything? Like Wallace is not a bad choice. Good to bring the merchandise shop. Yeah. Yeah. Glen Davis, yeah. National Park got a book for there. We could just make sure that everyone's got a book, that's all. Or do you mean there's one in town, like the little free camp in town there? I haven't been there for years. I don't know how big that is. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Macquarie Woods. When are you going to the Clyde River again? Yeah, I'm not sure. Down the south coast, there's a few little spots in there. I want to get back down and do some weekends down in there. I wanted to actually get it done in summer, so it's starting to cool off already. So yeah, but we'll see, to do some winter swimming. Yeah. What's your must-have for high country trips? Gee, I reckon if you're going solo, you definitely want a winch. But if you're going with someone else, probably not so much. Definitely a chainsaw, or if someone in your group's got a chainsaw, or you're going to have to be prepared to turn around. Like, you might get a long way through a track and have to turn around. It always seems to be a tree down. Not that we had any on this trip. We were pretty lucky, but nearly always get a tree down on one of those tracks, especially when you get down those tracks that are not used as much. Yeah. Yeah, it's cooling off in the Gippsland. Hey, Braden, I reckon it would be. Yeah, I reckon it'd definitely be getting a bit cool around there. Yeah. Well, Dave's destination off-road's on. Yeah. You hear at the end, mate. We're just about to sign off. Yeah. Yeah, so I think I've covered off. Does anyone want to know anything else about the high country? So I got some stats here. We spent 1,035 on fuel, 560 on food, alcohol, and extras. Like extras was like we bought an ice cream and stuff at the shops, and when we're at Walhalla, we bought some lunch at the cafe there. Yeah, I think I've gone pretty much through everything I wanted to go through. Yeah, we had no problems with getting fuel. But don't panic about getting fuel if you're heading down there. You can. We did take a jerry. I did have a jerry can though, just as a backup. I always sort of do that. Makes me feel a lot better. And water was pretty easy, but we were a bit reserved with the water. Like when we could, some of those streams are pretty clean. We were using stream water for cooking and washing up and cups of tea and stuff. Yeah. Toddy, who's your favourite YouTuber to watch and why? Oh, it's this bloke called Toddy 4x4 Photography. Yeah, because he takes unreal photos and he's a top bloke and he's got the best beard you've ever seen. Yeah. 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 Nah, seriously, favorite YouTuber? I don't know. I don't know. My tastes change daily. Like, it depends how I feel, who I want to watch. Yeah. There's some good guys doing some really good stuff. Yeah. And, there's guys doing really good stuff, whether you want to watch trips or whether you want to watch people working on cars, builds, fixes, anything. Yeah. Some bloody good stuff happening out there. Everyone's doing a great job. Mud Ducks. Oh, he's in Tassie. What are you doing down there, Mud Ducks? Yeah. A good basic itinerary for the first time to the high country. Yeah. Sat down with a mate last night who's heading down in a couple of weeks, and we done a pretty good trip. But you can't beat sort of the old going in at Tom Grogan. Davies High Plains shut at the moment, but heading up, I think Tom Grogan track, heading over through Omeo, and then heading across the top, Dog's Grave, down into Dargo. Then you sort of head um, up the road a bit. You can duck down to the Crooked River track, and then you can head up the Basalt Knob track and get Blue Rag done. Come back down to Talbotville, and from Talbotville you can easily do Billy Goats in a day, and then sort of if you double back to Talbotville again, you can then head on through the Wanangata up Zeka Spur and do your King Billy track and your huts across the top, Bluff Hut, Lovick's Hut, and then head on through to Craig's Hut, and then head out onto the road. You can't really beat that. If you want to tick all the high country things in one go, that's sort of a pretty good trip to do. You probably get that done in a week, I reckon. Steve Elliott. So it's like 1,500 for in petty for me. Yeah, but remember I was towing as well, so I don't know what your car's like on fuel, but you'd probably want to bank on 1,500 maybe. Sounds like a lot, eh? But I did use like a thousand, yeah, 1,035. Yeah, you probably would want to bank on 1,500. I don't know if Tyler keeps any sort of records of what sort of fuel he uses, but yeah, but still, like when you look, we were away from home for 2 weeks, and it cost us $1,600. All the camping was free. Victoria does a great job with its campgrounds and its national parks and stuff in there, and all the camping was free. And some of the campgrounds were fantastic and had great toilets, facilities, and stuff. And and it's for free. You can't complain. So yeah, for us, $1,600, 2 weeks away. It was pretty good. You're doing very well here, speaking for your first live stream. Thanks, mate. Who's had enough? Should I hang up yet? The diggings at Capity, like for the meetup, you mean? Yeah, that'd see with New South Wales National Parks and the booking system now. If we had 50 people down there, they're probably not going to be happy. To be honest. Yeah. John Whiting, I have been to the Vic High Country heaps of times, so my tip is to go in the good weather. I took 5 mates to see all the good views, and we spent 4 days in the fog with no views. That's right. That is a big problem. Like that's why you do blue rag and billy goats, obviously, for the view at the top. But sometimes you can't nail it. We were really lucky that morning. We went up to Blue Rag when I took Tash up because that's her first time. It was cloudy going up. It was cloudy bit cloudy in the morning. We could see the top and it was in cloud, and we thought, oh, we're halfway up now anyhow. We just go. Yeah. So and it sort of cleared up a bit when we're up there. Like the clouds were moving enough. You were in and out of clouds, so sort of made it good as well because how it was. Yeah, best swimming holes and mountain streams. In the high country or just up the mountains here. There's plenty in either and or. We've got plenty up the mountains there, like Turon River, Cox's River. Yeah, and the Macquarie River, I suppose too. It's all pretty good, and a lot of those little creeks. Yeah, yeah. Love to see the wildlife in your videos, like swimming with the black snakes. Yeah, the footage didn't turn out as good as I thought, but he was just sitting on the other side there. We sort of spooked him a bit when he come down and he got washed down there a bit. So, but it was just a really nice red belly. But he was just chilling on the other side, on the rock, and we were swimming on this side. We sort of had a mutual agreement. He stayed over there, and we stayed on this side. So yeah, we've only seen the one red belly. We've seen a few copperheads. Yeah, and that's about it, really. We didn't see that many snakes, considering normally see a few. We've seen one tiger snake as well up near Bindaree Falls. Yeah, yeah, and we see there's a lot of birds at that Fry's Hut, and then not so much other wildlife, really. Yeah, we didn't see any brumbies up in that section we went to. Yeah. Steve Elliott, sounds great. So at least 2 weeks off. Yeah, 2 weeks is awesome down there. But if you can only get a week off, you can make it work in a week. You can make it a 6-day trip work really well down there, 6-7 days. Best time of year to go to the high country. So this is where it comes into your personal preference. I really like that February time when we went because we had some really good weather. We had some nice warm days where you definitely want to swim. You're looking for a swimming hole, and the nights were pretty cool. Like we had a few nights there, 5 degrees, so every night you were tucked under the doona. It was nice. Not once were we like too hot to sleep, but the day by 10 o'clock you're looking for somewhere to swim. It was pretty good, and you can have a nice campfire at night. Easter's good, and after Easter, got to bear in mind around June. There's a lot of seasonal track closures, so depending on what tracks you want to drive, there's a lot of closed. Still a lot you can do, but you have to be prepared that it could snow. So that's another factor you want to take into consideration. And but I mean, there's it can snow any time of the year down there. Like I know I've heard of people camping there Christmas time, and it can snow. I've also been down there a few years ago, and we had 42 degrees one day at Dargo, and we just sat in the river all day. And the next day, I was up top of Billy Goats, and it was like 8 degrees. It was freezing. So you can have those extremes as well. Yeah, so Sunny Corner meetup then. Yeah, looks that way, or somewhere. We'll find somewhere, I think. We could take over Wallaby Rocks. Yeah, I thought about Wallaby Rocks, but there's no toilet there. Everyone would have to be self-contained. Wollongata would be the best spot. We'll fit all your subs in Warren. Yeah, everyone take a week off. Yeah. Yeah. that trip that I just talked about, you could do with your trailer. I think I have done it before with a trailer years ago. So if you've done the Tom Grogan track out of, I'd have to check the condition of that track, but I think it's pretty easy. You could do that over Dog's Grave down to Dargo's, pretty easy. And then obviously Dargo High Plains Road, then down into Talbotville. You can even, if you're doing it with a camper trailer, you can leave your camper trailer there. That's what we've done in the past, and we've made that a base camp, and then we've gone and done Blue Rag from there in a day and come back. And your camper's there set up. It's easy. And then we've gone and done Billy Goats in a day and come back. Definitely not pulling a camper trailer up Billy Goats, I think, now with the state of it. Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know too, there's different ways to get to the top of the pinnacles. The Billy Goats Bluff track is not the only way. You can drive around the back, like how Tash and I camped at the top. And we come down to Dargo. It's a bit of a longer way, but I mean, it's just a smooth dirt road. So if you're not keen on driving that Billy Goats Bluff track and you still want to get up to the top, you can do it easily enough just by going around. How do I feel leaving the camper when you go out for the car? Yeah, I'm okay with that, Tom. Like, depending where it is, if it's, you can tell on the type of campground you're in, I suppose. Like something like Talbotville down in there, like only like 4-wheel drivers can get in there. I know there is that element that could do something, but yeah, I'm pretty confident in leaving the camper there. I think mainly if anyone's going to do anything, they're probably just going to nick some of your camping gear. They're not going to nick the whole trailer because they're probably not going to know how to pack it up, and they're not going to have I'd take the hitch with me, so they couldn't do that. We left it on the side of the track there at Blue Rag there, but I did put the lock through the pin. So yeah, sometimes we're a bit hesitant, but most of the time it's fine. Like, I mean, yeah. And I mean, I've left solar panels out before and that and come back and they're still there. Most of the time people are fairly honest, but yeah, I've heard of, obviously there's stuff goes missing sometimes, for sure. You can't doubt that. Yeah. Destination. I have 52 weeks off. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Do you think Blue Mountains is the best place in Australia? You know the answer to that. Yeah. I'd probably say I think it is. Like, we know that we know some good spots there. It's pretty good. I'd like to spread it to maybe the East Coast is good because yeah, like we just done that trip down the high country, and it's a day's drive from Sydney to get in there and get going. Whereas when we done our big trip in 21, I mean, it was great going up the top end and seeing Kakadu and Litchfield and stuff like that. But we did 12,500 Ks. We did a lot of driving for a couple of waterfalls. And yeah, I think it was a little bit overrated. I'm not trying to bag out Northern Territory or you got to do it. It's a great trip up there, but I'm thinking there's a lot here on the East Coast that is underrated, very underrated. Blue Mountains for starters. Yeah, our south and north coast and our high country, like even down where we went the other year at Ben Dethra, like how good was that? That swimming down there, like, yeah, man, like, yeah, I think unless I miss something major at Kakadu, that's pretty. We've got it pretty good here on this side of the country, I think. Yeah. Thanks for dressing up. Yeah, I put a shirt on tonight. Yeah. I was just testing the other night. I didn't think that many people were going to get on. So, yeah. Yeah, love your content, Shad. You're a great bloke. Thanks, mate. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we might wrap this one up here. What do you reckon? That's an hour 15, guys. Wow. I've talked for that long. You guys must be so bored. Yeah. Yeah. What do you reckon we wrap that up there? No more questions. Couple of beers and the shirts come off. That's when the live gets turned off. That'll be on the weekend away, mate. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks everyone for getting on. I'm not sure how many we had on there all up, but yeah, it's 57 now. That's unreal. Thank you. Thanks everyone for all the support, watching the videos and subscribing and commenting, and yeah, it's been great. So that's really what keeps every creator going. Really, is the positive comments and the likes and everything like that. So yeah, if you're watching a video and you really enjoy it, let them know, because that makes a difference. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and hope I answered a few questions for you, and yeah, you got something out of it. And we'll see you on the next one. Yeah. All right, guys. See ya.